Hello, welcome to our channel. In our channel, have you visited all the playlists? There are brass anatomy lectures, histology, embryology, radiological anatomy, anatomy practical exam preparations, and all the videos, if you have observed, they are carefully presented, carefully prepared presentations. So those who have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe now so that you will receive the everyday updates. So now in this class, we will continue with the histology of the GIT. We have already covered the histology of the tongue, esophagus, stomach. So in this class, we will see the histology of the small intestine. Histology of small intestine, same as that of the GIT, has the four layers: mucosa, submucosa, muscularis externa, serosa, or adventitia. So they have the same four layers, but how they differ from the other parts of the GIT, we will now see. So what are the three parts of the small intestine? You should be very familiar with the gross anatomy. Three parts of the small intestine is duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. So its function is site of absorption. So for this purpose, if you see the microstructure, this luminal surface has to be increased 400 to 600 times. So for that purpose, the microstructure of the small intestine is modified. So that is the way we have to think this microstructure of the small intestine. So which will be able to favor the absorption of the products of the digestion. So this surface has been increased to how many times we can't just imagine, 400 to 600 times by its own modifications. So what are the modifications in the histology of the small intestines? Circular folds. They are called as plica circularis or valves of Kerckring. Then intestinal villi, microvilli, intestinal gland. They are called as the crypts of the liver cord. What are plica circularis? So they are the permanent circular folds of mucosa and submucosa. So they are circular and permanent. So that is the thing we should remember. But absent in the proximal part of the duodenum. But in the rest of the duodenum and the whole of the jejunum, they are more prominent. What are intestinal villi? The peculiar feature of the small intestine is intestinal villi. They are the minute finger-like projections of the mucosa containing the central core of the lamina propria. So as a whole, the mucosa is projecting like finger-like. So it contains capillaries and a small lacteal and even some smooth muscle cells from the muscularis mucosa. So we have defined already finger-like projections of mucosa. So it will contain all the three layers of the mucosa: the epithelium, lamina propria, and muscularis mucosae. Shape of the villi, if you see, it varies in the parts of the small intestine. Flattened and leaf-like, ridge-like, and tongue-like. So many shapes of the villi we can observe. What is this purpose of this intestinal villi? They increase the surface area by tenfold. So these are the projections of lamina mucosa. So that all these three layers of the mucosa are projecting. That will be called as intestinal villi, containing the surface epithelium and this lamina propria, even smooth muscle cells, capillaries, even the lacteals. What are microvilli? So this mucosa is enlarged. It is only increasing the surface area tenfold. So again some modifications of epithelial cells. So now finger-like projections of plasma membrane of the columnar epithelial cells. That will give the striated border. This microvilli increases the surface area of 20 folds. What are the crypts of Lieberkühn? Crypts of Lieberkühn are simple tubular intestinal glands. so that they resemble the gastric glands, tubular invaginations of the epithelium into the lamina propria. So these are the crypts of Lieberkühn. So these are the intestinal glands. It will be called as the crypts of Lieberkühn. You can even in this picture you can see so many types of cells are seen in the crypts of Lieberkühn apart from the columnar epithelium. So you can note the type of the cells: goblet cells, Paneth cells. So these are the types of the cells in the even enteroendocrine cell. So now we will see the types of the cells also. So we have covered the modifications of the small intestine. We are now starting with the epithelium of the small intestine, same as the epithelium of the GIT, columnar cells, simple columnar. Along with this, we have some other cells. So that other cells also we will see. So this is prominently columnar cells. They will be called as the enterocytes. In the enterocytes, scattered among, we have the goblet cells. So goblet cells into systems of the body. We have the goblet cells. One is the GIT and other is the respiratory system. But in both systems, they differ in the number. If you take the GIT, they increase in number from the small intestine. If you see the respiratory system, they decrease in number from the proximal part, trachea to the lungs. So that is the difference we have to see. Only in two systems we can see this goblet cells prominently. Other cells are the undifferentiated stem cells and the Paneth cells. So we will see even the microstructure of the enterocytes. These are the electron microscopic appearance of the epithelium. Basal nucleus, microvilli, it contains microvilli. So it contains all the organelles, and this cell junction is the typical junctional complexes. Goblet cells, it will be the expanded upper part filled with the mucin granules. So usually the typical shape of the goblet cells explained in the standard textbook says peg shape. So it contains expanded upper part and stem-like narrow part. So in the nucleus is basal and flattened. So as I told already, if they increase in number from the duodenum to the terminal ileum, and even in the large intestine, they will be more increased in number. Undifferentiated cells. What is the difference between the undifferentiated cells and these enterocytes? Microvilli are not so developed. They can differentiate either into the typical absorptive cells or into the goblet cells. Paneth cells, they are the typical cells present only in the deeper parts of the intestinal crypts. They contain prominent eosinophilic secretory granules, cells rich in the zinc, and function not known, but they think that they are known to produce lysosome that destroys the bacteria. Even we have the M cells. So M cells, they are present most prominent in the terminal ileum. So villi will be less over the mucosa of the lymphatic follicles in the terminal ileum. So this epithelium overlying this lymphatic follicles will contain special follicle associated epithelial cells or M cells. So function is believed to take up antigens in the lumen of the intestine. So these M cells are prominent opposite to the lymphatic nodules which are present in the lamina propria, especially in the terminal ileum. So we have finished the modifications of the small intestine. We have seen the cells of the epithelium in the detail. Now we will see the other layers of the histology of the duodenum, jejunum and ileum. So this epithelium, these modifications are common for all the three parts of the small intestine. So what are the differences, other differences only we will now see in this next. So if you see the histology of the small intestine, these are the most important difference, most prominent glands in the lamina propria. So they are called as Brunner's glands. they are present in the submucosa, not in the lamina propria. So in histology of GIT, only in two places the glands are present in the submucosa. One is the esophagus and the second part is the duodenum. So these Brunner's glands are more present in the first part of the duodenum. These glands are also lined by the columnar cells. These glands which are present in submucosa, their ducts pass through the muscularis mucosae, lamina propria and open into the crypts of Libercoe. So this is a typical histological picture of the duodenum. So the submucosa is full of duodenal glands are called as the Brunner's glands. So villi are common. Villi are present in all the parts of the small intestine, but we have to know the shape of the villi differ in three parts: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. So the villi here will be different, and if you see the number of villi number decrease in number from the duodenum to the ileum. So they are more prominent and they are increased in number or mainly in the duodenum. You can appreciate in this. So one is this villi, abundant villi. Two is this submucosal glands or Brunner's glands. So these are the typical features of the duodenum. So other two layers are same as other parts of the GIT, containing two well-defined layers of the smooth muscle, inner circular and outer longitudinal. In between will be the same Orbox plexus will be situated. Serosa will contain same loose connective tissue covered by the mesothelium. So this is again the same image, but it is slightly higher magnification. So we can observe the simple columnar epithelium, villi, and even this presence of the lacteals in the villi is visible. Villi, so that the crypts are visible, lamina propria is visible, then muscularis mucosa, submucosa is filled with the Brunner's glands. Histology of the jejunum. This histology of the jejunum, if you see same four layers, mucosa is thrown into folds, same like other parts of the small intestine. Villi are rounded or tongue shaped of different heights. So these are the broad villi, tongue shaped, it is peculiarly called. So this is the histology of the jejunum. What you can't observe in the histology of jejunum, how to differentiate from the duodenum, we are not seeing any glands in the submucosa. So if you see the villi and submucosal glands, that slide is the duodenum. If you see the villi and no glands, then that slide is the jejunum. So the same four layers, circular folds, villi. So this is one circular fold. These are the villi. Then these are the crypts of the Libercoe, lamina propria. Then this is the submucosa, and this is muscularis externa, and this is the adventitia. So these are the again higher same magnification histology of jejunum, stained with the hematoxylin and the eosin. If you see this, mainly this images jejunum and ileum junction, you can appreciate nicely the difference between the villi of the jejunum and the villi of the ileum. Starting of the ileum, villi will be less height in number in the ileum, they will be less prominent, and then in the ileum we will have the lymphoid collections in the submucosa. So histology of ileum, same consists of four layers, mucosa or villi. In the mucosa, if you see, as we have seen, the duodenum, villi are prominent and they are more in number. And if you see, compare this with the ileum, villi are short, round and few. And in the mucosa, we have the aggregations of the lymphatic nodules called as the Peyer's patch. So this Peyer's patches number increases from proximal to distal part of the ileum. Patches, if you see opposite to the patches, the villi will be rudimentary or absent. Peyer's patches, when larger, will extend into the submucosa, so that disturbs the muscularis mucosae. Muscularis mucosae is absent where Peyer's patches are very large. Peyer's patches, one Peyer's patch is produced by the aggregation of 260 solitary lymph nodules. So that is how one Peyer's patch is formed. Peyer's patches are 20 to 30 in number in the ileum, more in the children and disappear in the old age. So this is the histology of the ileum. You can appreciate nicely. The villi are less, less in height, less in number, and we have the aggregations of the lymphatic nodules in the lamina propria. Otherwise, in the mucosa, we have this. You can appreciate wherever the nodules are more prominent, the villi are not present, and here only we have seen in the cells opposite to the lymphatic nodules, M cells will be more prominent. So this is the, if this for Peyer's patches are very large, they can even extend into the submucosa, disrupting the muscularis mucosae. So that's how we have seen the three parts of the microstructure of the small intestine. So to summarize, these are the three parts, three images. So this is the microstructure of the duodenum, microstructure of the jejunum, and this is the ileum. So common features for all these three parts are the plica circularis, that is the circular mucosal folds of mucosa and submucosa. So this is one circular mucosal fold. Villi are common for all the three parts. And also the intestinal glands, crypts of Lieberkühn are also present in all the three parts. Then what are the differences? How to differentiate these three slides? One is, if you have the villi, which are more in number, and they will be called as leaf shape in the duodenum, tongue shaped in the jejunum, and this in the ileum very small height and leaf like we can tell. So here that is the one difference, villi number, height and shape. Two is, if the submucosa contains the glands, that slide is the duodenum. If the mucosa contains the Peyer's patches, that slide is the ileum. If these two are not present, only villi are present, other features of small intestine are present, then that slide is the jejunum. So that's how we can appreciate the differences and the common features of the three parts of the small intestine: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. So in this class, we have covered the microstructure of the small intestine. So this class, if you have observed my histology, it is all very detailed microstructure I have explained from very standard textbooks. So this will be very helpful for you in the exam preparation, both for theory and the practical examinations. So we will continue with the histology of the remaining parts in the next classes. So those who have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe now so that you will receive the everyday classes.